Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, the show that inspires, empowers, and educates you. Each week on this show, we talk about relevant topics so that you can be living your life intentionally the I Have Today way and live it to that highest, greatest, truest power of what you're here to do and how you want to live and how you want to feel and being really intentional with it, because unless your life is coming from you, it's happening to you. And I'm your host, Diane Forster. I'm so grateful to be here. I am here every single week. We are live on the E360 TV television network, as well as my Facebook page and my YouTube channel, both called I Have Today with Diane Forster. If you are watching and live right now, wherever you're watching, if you want to comment, the place that you would do that is over at Facebook. So if you want to chime in, add comments, have questions, that would be the place to do it. So just wanted to let you know about that. And then we also create this show as a podcast because some of you prefer to listen to podcasts instead of watching shows. So that is also I Have Today with Diane Forster. So lots of ways that you can catch this show. Now, today, I decided just to host the show by myself and not have any guests in the studio because I wanted it to be more, instead of an interview, I really wanted to educate, empower, and inform you about something. And I'm going to share some strategies with you today. The name of our show today is Be Motivated by Impact Instead of Income. Be motivated by impact instead of income. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because I work with a lot of people, a lot of women who have big dreams, big goals, big visions. And hey, I'm one of those too. And I work with men too, but mostly women. And what tends to happen, depending on where you are in your business, is the focus tends to be on the immediacy of what you need right now, which, we live in an economy where, money and cash flow is our currency. So what I see happening is the dream, the big why, at some point gets tossed over to the back burner because they become focused on survival mode. And so when you're focused on survival mode, you lose your big picture vision of what it is you're trying to do, the impact that you want to make on the world. And that could be anything, by the way. It doesn't have to be, where, finding a solution to plastic or saving the whales or any of those things, right? Doesn't matter what your definition of that is. There's no big or small or right or wrong. It's what that impact you want to make is for you. So what I wanted to share with you is a couple of things. First, I'm going to share our intention statement with you, and then I'm going to share some statistics and facts about what I've seen going on since in the last few years. And honestly, since I came up with the idea of I Have Today, which I'll talk about more about that in a few minutes. But when I wanted to reinvent my life and I left my corporate career at ABC to become a life and mindset coach and author and a speaker and all the things that happened for me, it was because I saw this gap and this opportunity. And so I'm going to share some of what I'm witnessing right now. And I would love, oh, hey, Oz, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Ping a couple people in, if you don't mind, especially some women, if you know some women, because I'm going to share some amazing stuff that's relevant to you too. But what I started to see was a lot of women like me and where my mindset was and everything that happened to me and for me, that led to the path that I'm on right now. And the statistics are staggering and crazy. So I'm going to share those in just a minute. But first, before I do that, what I want to share with you is our intention statement. So we always have an intention statement on this show. And our intention statement for this week is, I have today to make a big impact in the world. I have today to make a big impact in the world. So what we do is on my Instagram page, we have a little button that's called wallpapers, and you can go over there at Diane Forster Official and check them out. And I'm just going to do it right now really quick while we're here doing this. Okay, so they're right here. You just click on the wallpapers, and the team makes the most beautiful wallpapers with all our intention statements on it. So this week's is already there. And what I want you to do is take a screenshot of it, and then this becomes your screensaver for the week so that you see it 150 times or more a day, since that's how often you look at your phone. So if you're seeing, I have today to make a big impact in the world, I have today to make a big impact in the world. And if you keep seeing it, it's going to get in. It's going to get in your subconscious mind, and it's going to integrate with you. And all of a sudden you're going to have heightened frequency and energy and awareness about that. And then different things are going to start flowing into your life to help make it so. So much fun how it works. All right. So grab that over there. All right. And now what I want to do is talk about our upcoming event. We have an event coming up that's called TV Star Intensive. And so what I'm going to do in this 1-day live virtual event, no replays, no recordings, you have to attend, it's a must attend, is I'm going to take you through from start to finish everything you need to know so that you can launch your own show. You can be a TV talk show host. You have an idea, you have a business. If you have a business and you don't have a show or a platform, you need to have one, especially in this day and age and everything that's going on. And it's really changed my life. I absolutely love doing it. I love doing what I'm doing right now. I'm going to give you amazing information today. I love interviewing my guests and how they inspire, empower, and educate our audience. And it's also created tremendous amount of impact and income in my life, in my business. So it's called TV Star Intensive. I'm going to play a little tape for you right now to let you know how you can register, because it is coming up quickly. So take a look and listen to this right now. Hi, ladies. I'm Diane Forster, and I'm so excited to bring you this opportunity called TV Star Intensive, where I am going to, for 1 day, take you through what you need to do to launch and star in your own TV show. Now, as someone who's been in the media industry for almost 40 years, and I've had my own show for close to 5 years now, I know what it's done for me, for my business, for my brand, for my bank account. And I know that there are so many of you out there who have so many gifts and talents and expertise that you want to offer the world. And here's the thing, it's a very competitive landscape, and your field, I'm sure, is very crowded. So how do you stand out among the rest? You host your own TV show. You create this platform that allows you to interview and bring other guests onto your show, which also in return gets you invited to other people's shows, TV shows, radio shows, stages. It allows you to elevate your credibility and your authority so you become known as the go-to expert in your industry. It's a lot easier than you think, but it takes smart, strategic planning to do it. So what I'm going to teach you in this 1 day is everything you need to know. At the end of the event, you're going to be able to launch your show, but your show is going to be brilliant. It's going to be authentic to who you are. It's going to be a lot of fun creating it, and it's going to align with your business and your brand and who you are and the difference that you want to make in this world. So I invite you to come to the event, register here. This is a live event, no recordings, no replays. You have to be there, and it's also going to be a very intimate event. So there are limited seating in it. So please don't hesitate. If you have this dream, this goal and desire to be a TV personality, this is your chance to learn what you need to do, how to do it, how quickly you can get started, and how little time it takes. You're going to be blown away. So I'm so excited to have this. I'm going to have great guest speakers, experts in the industry, and you're going to have everything you need to know in this plan to learn how you can start doing it now. So I hope to see you there. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, we're back. Well, I hope that you guys join me because it's going to be mind-blowing. And yes, it is for women, but men are coming too. We've got a lot of men who registered as well. So this information really applies to anybody. You need your platform, and a television show is a great way to do it. There are so many scouts out there seeking good talent and good content, and yours is included in that. So I'm so excited about it. All right. So we had a link for that. It's tvstaracademy.com/intensive, tvstaracademy.com/intensive. We will talk about it at the end of the show as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get into the background and the content and the research that we discovered along the way. I discovered along the way as I was doing my show and getting more requests for people to have me teach them to do their shows. One of the things that has been on my list of things to do that I plan to do is I am launching a television network. That is in the works. That is in the plan. And so who did I want it to be for? And what did I want it to be was part of the reason for all this research. But without getting into my backstory and how I ended up being, reinventing my life and being a life and mindset coach is, based on my suicide attempt in 2011 and having that wake up call in that moment that led me down this path to doing what I'm doing. And so I started researching and studying women like me, women like me whose lives seemed like they had it all. Certainly looked like I had it all, but I was miserable and unhappy. And it was something that led to a suicide attempt. It was not premeditated. It wasn't planned or anything. It was a moment that I just lost it. And so here's what I discovered. That the number one age group for suicide attempts is women between the ages of 45 and 64. Now, I said attempts. Women attempt suicide the most between the ages of 45 and 64 years old. And I was one of them. Now, more men are successful at it because I think women just finally get wrapped around that guilt and, and kids and all those things. But I think they're also less likely to do it the way that a lot of men do it. And so reasoning comes in, or fear comes in, or regret, or whatever comes in. But it is still the number one age group of who's trying it. So that had me dig deeper into some things that I wanted to know about her, because that's me. And I'm going to share some of that with you right now. So bear with me, because all this is coming and leading to how to focus on impact that will lead to your income. I'm going to share 7 strategies. So hang with me, because this is going to be so powerful for you and game changing in your business and in your life when I share these with you. All right. So the first slide I want to show you is what's going on with these women. So Cherry, can you pull up the first slide, please? All right. So what this slide is saying is, and I need my glasses here. Hold on. This is changes in the competition of new entrepreneurs by age between 96 and 2016. What jumps out is the fact that ages 20 to 34 have dropped by 10%. 10% in the last 20 years, which means less younger people are becoming entrepreneurs. That's so, I just can't believe that. I find that so fascinating, right? Then when you look at the ages of the last two, you can see the last one, ages 55 to 64, jumped from 14.83 to 25.46. So between the ages of 45 and 54 and 55 and 64, that's increased by almost 14%, comprising 52% of the total entrepreneurial system. So more older people are starting over. And that includes a lot of women. Men are too, but this is big for women. All right, next slide, Cherry. So women entrepreneurship is continuing its upward trend globally. And look, there's 163 million women who are starting businesses across the world. There are 111 million who are already running established businesses. And then the total entrepreneurial activity among women increased 8% and 10% increase in women's ownership of established businesses. So the gap is getting narrowed. That's the big thing. So more and more women are starting businesses and running established businesses, and with no signs of slowing up. Okay, now the next slide, please. Now, why middle-aged women are the new entrepreneurial superpower. All right, let's get close to my screen here. Okay, because they understand their market and can tap into its needs. So they get what's going on in this age group. So they have more purpose and clarity. All right. So with age usually comes more clarity of who you are, what you want, what drives you. And that helps you go in the direction of the business that you want, leading to a greater likelihood of success and impact is the thing that I want to push across here. And then social media power is strong. So the old saying is that the older you get, the less you use social media. That's a total misconception that women 50 plus don't keep up with digital or social media trends, because they do beyond 50s and beyond. Okay. The next slide, please. Okay. Here's the opportunity. The challenges that women entrepreneurs face is defying social expectations, because they may need to feel that they need to adopt aggressive, harsh attitudes towards business, because that's been not all, but predominantly a lot of the male stereotype. That this is huge to access funding for their business, because only less than 3% of companies with venture capital funding had female CEOs. Isn't that criminal? And then they're struggling to be taken seriously. So earning respect and being acknowledged in a leadership role has been a struggle in male-dominated industries. I've talked to a lot of women about this. All right, and then owning their accomplishments. This is a big part of the emotional shame, fear, guilt. Don't let anybody pay too much attention to you. Keep your, voice, quiet, and a lot of the societal and parental and just experiential beliefs that happen to them. So they have a lack of mentors and advisors. And a big reason why that is because a lot of women don't know how to ask for help. They don't know that they can, and they don't know how to. And then they're trying to balance what's next in their life. So they have to figure out how to do that, how to devote the right amount of time to family and their responsibilities, and also build an impactful career. And then coping with fear of failure. So that's a big thing. Nobody wants to ever look bad. Nobody wants to make a mistake. And then they have all of this fear and self-doubt. And so that stifles people. That stifles, all people, but especially women in this age group. All right. Next slide, please. I think this is the last one. Yes. So this is why I am so adamant about everybody having a TV show, which is why I'm hosting this event, to teach you how to have a TV show. Now, TV show could be over the air, it could be over the top, meaning streaming. It could be a free one. It doesn't have to mean, that what the old definition of television was, because television landscape has totally changed. We can access anything we want anytime we want. Everything is on demand. It's literally on demand in our hand. Just made that up. That's a writer downer. All right. So people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Can you put the slide back up, please? So people buy from who they know, like, and trust. And the best way for the audience to develop a connection is through video, like you're doing with me right now on the show. And I love the fact that this is a live television show and we get to interact with each other. And I get to read your comments and answer your questions. And I'm having a dialogue with you. I'm not just talking at you, right? So being able to do that. And then it's an asset. Television show is an asset. And here's the thing, it gets created. And once it's created, it lives on forever. So episodes from your TV show can be used time and time again to answer objections. You can direct people, oh, I did a whole episode on that. Go find it. It's titled this. If they want to know how to manifest an ideal body, I've got a show on that. If they want to know how to thrive during difficult times, I've got an episode on that. If they want to know anything about any of my former guests, I have all of that. You want to know about feng shui, the best master in the world, Marie Diamond? I have an episode with her. So it's a library for you. Okay. Then getting discovered, having consistent video content puts you at top of mind, and a bank of episodes where people can find you. And each piece of content is a chance to get discovered by somebody who needs your help, not necessarily discovered in Hollywood. But when you have this, people can find you. If you don't have this, how are they going to find you? And this, for me, has been life-changing, and for you, because believe it or not, so many people are wanting and craving long form content. The 15-second to 3-minute TikTok videos are fine and they're good and they're inspirational. But if you really want to learn something, delve into something, this is a great, great way to do it. So that's what's going on with women in this age group. And I just wanted to share those slides with you. So if you have any comments about that or questions about that, be sure to put them in the chat. All right. So what we're going to do now is, first, I'm going to take a little sip of my chicory. I am getting off of coffee again, and I'm drinking chicory, making some health changes. And you know what? It's really good. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you how to focus on impact that leads to income. I'm going to share these 7 strategies. So wherever you are, if you can write these down, you are going to want to write these down. And if you can't, you can go watch the replay and do it later. Okay. All right. You ready? So the number one thing to how to focus on impact that leads to income is, number 1, define your why. Number 1, define your why. This is what happens when I said earlier, if a woman's starting out her business, or even if she's been, beyond startup and she's in the early stages or it's somewhere along the way, sometimes what happens to us is we forget our why. Why are we doing this? Right? So it's really, the most important step is to figure out why you're doing something. It's the most critical thing to do, because if you don't know why you're doing it, then why the heck are you doing it? So you got to define your why. Okay, so what does that why look like for you? And I like to go, there's a couple of people I turn to. One of them is Dean Graciosi, who does the 7 layers of why, but you'll get the concept. There's also the 5 layers of why, but here's the concept right here and now. I'm just going to give it to you. Ask yourself, Diane, why do you want a television network? Right? And I would answer the reason why. And then once you have that first answer down, then ask it again. Well, why do you want that? Okay. And the first answer is because I really want to help women who need support. All right. Well, why is that important? And what you'll see as you break it down is you will eventually get to the one thing that matters the most. Okay. So my second answer for that would be, I really want to help. Well, because I was just like them and I know what that feels like. Well, why does that matter? Well, because I discovered some things along the way about how I was living and then how I wanted to live, and the kind of life that I wanted to live, and I wanted to do something that was more fulfilling, and I wanted to serve in a really great way. I wanted to make the impact. I wanted to, bring in the income. And okay, so why? My ultimate why was I wanted time and money freedom. I want time and money freedom. I want to do what I love to do, but that's really when you get down to the core, that is what I wanted, right? I want time and money freedom. So I have the freedom and time to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with whom I want. And I don't want to have to think about the time, and I don't want to have to think about the money. So, what's the why for you? What does that mean? And so, in my business, how I'll relate this to my business, when I'm working on my plan for the year, right? I have the blueprint of what I'm sharing with you today, what I'm doing in my business, right? But I put in very first thing that I put in my calendar for the year is 8 weeks off. 8 weeks off. Now, if you talk to my family and friends, they would say, she's not taking 8 weeks off. I am. I am. So I work hard because I love what I do, but I work hard so that I can have the lifestyle that I can take 8 weeks off a year. How cool is that, right? You get to design it to be anything you want, right? So the first part of this, well, all of this, but this first part is definitely about you being selfish and figuring out your why, not for the benefit of anybody else right now. We'll get to that, but that doesn't matter right now. All right. So that's number one. All right. You ready? Number two is, what's your mission/vision statement? What's your mission/vision statement? So I worked with a dear friend of mine who is brilliant businessman and strategist, and it took a while to get to this. This is that important. What is your mission and your vision statement for your business? So what's the mission of the business? What's your mission statement? And then what is your vision statement? So what do you want when you're talking about your mission and vision statement? The mission statement is really the internal part of the company. Like what I have today is a global media company that serves women around the world, and we have amazing employees that run the business really well, so that the owner CEO can take off 8 weeks a year, something like that. I just made that up. That is not our exact mission statement, but I wanted you to get a sense of what that might be, right? And then the vision statement is the statement that you want the world to read about you. So the first one is, this is what's going on inside our business. And then the second one is, people looking outside, people outside looking in. This is what we want them to know about us. So, we provide help for, women in transition, but, who are 40 plus years old, who are looking to reinvent their lives personally and professionally. And we provide services, products and services that they can't find anywhere else, something like that, right? So you need to figure this out, because this is a question that you get asked a lot, not always in this way, but you get asked this a lot. And I see this all the time with people. They struggle with how to explain who they are and what they do. They haven't done this work. You should be able to say who you are and what you do in one sentence, in 60 seconds. You should be able to say who you are, what you do, how you serve, and what their outcome is. Okay. So that's what you need to be able to do. So the mission statement and the vision statement help you to do that. All right. So number one was define your why. Number two was, what's your mission, vision statement. Number three, this is a big one. Number three is identify your unique ability. Yes, that's my made up word. Unique ability. What is your unique ability? What makes you so special? There are plenty of things that make you special, but what are they? So what I want you to do in this is to figure that out. Figure out what that is. First thing I asked you to do is figure out your why. Write your why. Get it down. Do the Dean Graziosi method, or just keep going to whys until you have no more whys to write, right? Number 2 was, what's your mission statement and vision statement? Write those out. And they don't have to be perfect, but get something on the paper. Get it out of your head and onto the paper. And now the third one is identify your unique ability. I want you to take out a piece of paper and I want you to write everything, all your lists of wins, accolades, assets, skills, gifts, things you know you're really good at. This all does not have to be related to business, though. This is you. We're coming up with a unique ability list for you. Okay. So what is that? And that list should be long. That piece of paper should be filled. It might even be filled on the other side. There should be a lot of things. Go back in your life, look at everything. Okay. So that's what I want you to do, is first identify your unique ability. Because when you're making impact in the world, the way you want to be making impact in the world, what's going to be represented is a lot of you. A lot of you. You are this unique individual. And the people who are looking for you, by the way, want to see that part of you, that unique ability part of you. It makes you who you are. So, because no two people are alike, no two people think the same. I might be a life and mindset coach, and there might be millions and millions of others, but there's nobody who's doing it the way I'm doing it. And vice versa. I'm not doing it the way they're doing it either. So we want to figure out your unique ability. And just that is a brain dump list. And it's like your brag list. I call it your brag list too. So you want to identify your unique ability. Now, once you've done that, we move on to number 4, which is, what are your top 5? Now I want you to take that list, look at it, and I want you to pick the 5 things where you can help and serve others in your business, in your consulting, in your coaching, with your products and services, whatever it is. What are the top 5? The top 5. And I want you to circle those, put them aside. Okay. Those top 5 are going to be the way you make impact, the way you touch the world in your own unique style. I hope this is resonating with you. I hope this makes sense. So, big thing that I'm seeing, and this, I'm speaking to the women out there who are watching this, who maybe don't have a career yet, or are working a job and want to start a side hustle, or want to be an entrepreneur, or they are, and maybe it's not going as well, or they just want to up level. They want some hacks. I want you to do this exercise, because when you do this exercise, you're going to see how, once you have all this together, how powerful it is in the way you communicate who you are and what you do when you're out networking or talking to people, in the way your copy gets written, in the way your messaging gets written, in the way your website presents yourself, in the way you present yourself. And so many parts of your business will come from this. So, what are those top 5? Circle those right now. Not right now, when you get to the list. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is break down your title and or brand. Break down your title and or your brand. So now you've done your why. You know your vision and your mission statements. You've identified your unique ability. You've picked your top 5 skills. How fun is this, you guys? The next thing I want you to do is figure out what your title or your brand is. What do you want to be known for? Might be your name, but then what's that tagline? That title that goes with you. So for me, it's America's mindset coach, or, intentional living expert. That's what people call me, right? My brand is I have today. We do everything around I have today. So I want you to think about that for yourself. And I want you to break it down in as few words as possible. As few words as possible. Think about what that is, right? So break that down. And this is the thing, there's an expression, if I had more time, I'd write you a shorter letter. It might take you some time to do this. And this is really good. This is flushing it out. So it should not be catchy. It should not be clever. It should be unique. It should be unique to you, but it should be the kind of thing when somebody hears it, they at least have some understanding of who you are and what you do. Right? So I have today. I have today. Pretty much said, oh, she probably talks about something about living in the present moment. Yes, I do. Right? What about you? I'm Diane Forster, intentional living expert. I talk about intentional living. Ooh, what's that? Creates a little intrigue, right? Think about this for you. I did this live with a woman in Clubhouse and her jaw dropped. Her mind was blown how she had been struggling and struggling and struggling to brand herself. And we did it in 20 minutes, 20 minutes. So, okay. So how does this relate to where we're, focusing on impact instead of income? I'm getting there. All right. So the next thing is number 6 is now that you have this unique ability, you have this unique brand or title that is you, now you get to create your revenue streams. Create your impact revenue streams. That's the next thing on the list. So what does that mean, Diane? Well, what it means is now that you have this, what I call the anchor of your title, your impactful title or brand, now what could you do with that? You could write a book, you can make a course, website would say all that, all your social media would say all that. You could write a signature speech. You could have a TV show, podcast, endless ways to create multiple revenue streams based on this. Now, this is how you create impact that leads to income. But there's one more step that I want to share with you. And that is number 7 is you got to design the plan. You got to design the plan. How are you going to do it? What's going to come first? By when? What are the dates? Take a look at what your unique ability list again and your top 5 qualities. Look on that list and see what's coming up over and over for you. For me, I love TV hosting. I love speaking. I love creating content. I love writing. I love coaching too, but I had to organize everything, right? So you got to design the plan. What are you going to achieve with this impact business that's going to drive your income and your revenue? And once you have the first part done, this part becomes a whole lot easier. This is what I'm seeing out there, that not enough people are doing this. And this strategy is the quickest way to manifest a life of your dreams. It is the quickest way for you to create the vision of your future and know what's coming in the next 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. You can even go out 5 years with this. You could do this every single year. It's so incredibly powerful. And that is how you focus on impact that leads to income. That is how your brand and your business are this authentic representation of you. So when you said at the beginning, when I asked you why, well, why do you want to do this? I want to help more people. I want to help people live better lives. I want to heal people. I want to make people feel better. I want to help people buy real estate. I want to, help people travel all over the world. Whatever it is, you can now do this in a much more impactful way that's going to drive your income. So There you have it. Those are the 7 tips. So let me share them again with you one more time. Number 1 was define your why. Number 2 was what's your mission/vision statement. Number 3, identify your unique ability. Number 4, what are your top 5? Number 5, break down your title/brand. Figure that in. The less words, the better. Create your impactful revenue streams based on that title or brand. And last but not least, design the plan to start implementing and creating those things. And that's how you make impact that leads to income. Impact that leads to income. And you're unlimited. You can have any amount of money that you want. There's nothing you can't be, do, or have. There's nothing you can't create. You can create anything you want. And I just gave you the blueprint on how to do that. I am going to go much deeper into this at the TV Star Intensive. That's the event that we're hosting. So if you would put up the link for that, please, Cherry. That is at tvstaracademy.com/intensive. tvstaracademy.com/intensive. So if you found this valuable in these short few minutes, imagine spending a whole day together building out your television show. But we're going to be doing all this stuff first because it's so incredibly important. And then once you have this information, what I'm going to teach you to do through the intensive, besides the fact that we have amazing speakers and guests coming and amazing networking and breakouts, and we're doing live implementations. So it's going to be a phenomenal one-day event, is you're going to walk away with a blueprint of your show, absolutely finished from the beginning to the end. And we're not leaving anything out. We're covering it all. So you will have all of your questions asked, because I know what the questions are that you're going to ask. You're asking, I'm not techie, or I don't have an idea for my show, or what if I can't think of content, or what if nobody watches my show, or what if I'd like to do this, but I don't even have an idea what I do it on. Trust me, I got all your questions answered. I'll take care of all of them during the day. Very excited about this event. So if you're interested, you got to get registered right away because it is coming up very quickly. So go read the all the information on the link on the page at tvstaracademy.com, tvstaracademy.com/intensive. You got to put the word intensive on there. tvstaracademy.com/intensive. And you're going to find everything that you need right there. And there's actually a link for it in the comments section. So you can just pop on over there, click on it right there, read everything and get registered. And I can't wait to see you there. So that's what we're doing there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to slow it down for a moment. We're getting ready to do our mantra meditation. This is something that we do every week here at I Have Today. I want to take everything that we've talked about today and allow it to integrate in you so that you leave the show feeling much better at the end than you did at the beginning. Isn't that the way it should be? That's what we always want. So what I'm going to do is, if you're driving, you can't close your eyes. But for everybody else, I'm going to ask you in just a minute to close your eyes. What I'm going to do is we're going to do this rainbow breath 2 times, and I'll explain what it is. So when I ask you to, I want you to breathe in through your nose, pull it all the way down to your tailbone. But I want you to have a visual of it's the mist of a rainbow. All the colors, all the spectrum of colors that are in the rainbow. That's what you're pulling in, the mist and the color of the rainbows, and you're pulling it all the way down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold it for 4 seconds. Then we're going to count to 8 as we send that energy and light up. I call it lighting up each one of our chakras, from our root chakra, which is all the way in the tailbone, our sacral, which is like below the belly button, and then our solar plexus, which is right at the belly button. Our heart is obvious. Our throat is obvious. Our third eye is right here, between, right above and in between our eyes. And then our crown is at the top of our head. And then right above our crown is about 2 feet, about 18 inches, 1 to 2 feet, is the soul star. This is an extremely important one. And the reason why this one is so important is because this is the portal to the information. This is the place you want clear. You want to send that energy to it and clear it out so you can receive the messages, the ideas, all the information that's waiting to drop in. And so this is a great time to do it right now at the end of this show. Then I want you to be paying attention to the ideas and the visuals and the little signs that you start to see around you, because you will see them. So, all right. So as we're lighting them up, after we do that, then I want you to breathe out of your mouth for 8 seconds, but I want you to blow it out like you're blowing out birthday candles, like heart, like that, because I want your abdomen area to feel like a deflated balloon. And I want you to visualize that any toxic negative energy within your body anywhere is releasing at that point. I have a visual like it's like the way coal smoke would look, like just ashy and sooty, and like anything toxic is coming out of me. So I know that was a lot of instruction. What I'm going to do is walk you through it. I'll be telling you what to do. So just don't pay attention. Just relax and enjoy this moment together. All right. So everybody close your eyes. Now breathe in for 4, all the way to the tailbone. Hold it for 4. And now light up each chakra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now blow it out like you're blowing out birthday candles for 8. Should feel really good. All right, let's do that one more time. You ready? Breathe in for 4 like you're breathing in the mist of a rainbow. Pull it all the way to your tailbone. Here we go. Ready? Hold it down there as we light up each chakra, sending all the color to the appropriate chakra. Makes sense? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, white. Soul star is white. Blow it out for 8. You should feel really relaxed right now. And just listen to the words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to make a big impact on the world. I have today to know my worthiness. I have today to live in my power. I'm going to take the time to do these exercises to understand just how valuable I am, how talented I am, the impact that I want to make in this world. The list goes on and on of how skilled and amazing I am. And I'm going to focus on those top 5 that really light me up. They fill my heart. I love doing them, and when I'm doing them, time loses all meaning. How powerful and amazing is it to have a life where I'm creating impact that leads to income, doing what I love? I never thought that was possible for me. And now I know that it is. Now I know that I'm limited by nothing. There's nothing I can't do. There's nothing I can't create. If I think about it in my mind and I dream about it, and then I write it out, just like Diane wants me to with these exercises, and I start to bring it into fruition, and I start to get the clarity and the focus and the direction, and then I put my plan into action. It's all laid out for me. Then it's already done. Now I just have to catch up to all the things that I already know have happened. That's so powerful. I can create and design any kind of life I want. I can have the impact on the world that I want to have, whether it's 1 person or 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000. Doesn't matter. I can do it because I now have the tools and skills that I need to create this impactful life that leads to income. I am so grateful. I am so thankful. I am so excited, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can open your eyes. I hope that felt really good to you, felt really good to me. I hope you know that you're limited by nothing. I hope you'll join me for the TV Star Intensive. That's www.tvstaracademy.com/intensive. That's the website that you would go to. I am not good with URLs, you guys. The fact that I got that right. And I hope that I see you there because, again, you can have the impact that you want to have in the world. And when you have those limiting beliefs of who do I think I am, let me tell you, those are normal. Come spend the day with me and I'll help you get rid of them. Thank you so much for being here. You mean the world to me. This show is nothing without you. Make sure you're following us. Go to my website at dianeforster.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Please don't keep us a secret. We'll have all the information to follow me on social media and where the show is in the show notes. And that's it for this week's episode. Have a beautiful today. I love you madly. Take care. Bye-bye.